I mean, that's why I got my new car this year, was because they're getting rid of manual transmissions. And
Manual,
yeah,
like no clutch.
yeah, Mini Cooper's discontinued manual transmissions after this month.
Who's they?
Mini Cooper's discontinued manual
I think
transmissions after this month.
Volkswagen is the only one I think I've seen that still has them.
Even when I bought a manual transmission, like,
Yeah.
oh gosh, how many years ago now?
Yeah.
Even like
You
15
stopped
years
working.
ago, it was really hard to find one.
Paper,
Where from Ridley?
I was not very good.
paper.
Nowhere,
Yeah, he said.
nowhere specifically.
Is it possible to get a paper of today's agenda? Printed, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I like to keep my notes. After next year, half of my closet will be empty. When I'm off the board.
Oh,
And that's where I love.
I'm gonna go to
technology.
the foundation readiness, with my code papers.
Hey, Jose.
Sorry, guys, I couldn't make it today in person.
Oh.
See, I have OneNote, so I have like a bajillion notebooks, and so all my notebooks are just right here.
No, I got it all in my closet. My husband goes, when are we gonna get rid of all these papers? I said, you never know when somebody's looking for one, and somebody did last year. Nobody can find this paper from Parks and Rec. I had it in my closet.
I try to digitize everything so that I
Or you
can search for.
keep it for a while. You can't just empty it out when you're off
You
the
guys see
board.
the screen?
No, we can't yet, but let's see what we can do here.
Let me ask Emily
Um,
over here.
Are you sick?
Yes,
Are you homesick?
yes,
Then why are you on this call?
because I have to provide updates. And I love my team.
You're so dedicated, Jose.
I try.
Thank you.
What do we think we're supposed to be seeing?
Yeah, what should we be seeing here? Because
It should
are you
be,
sharing something?
Lauren said John died for your agenda.
we're seeing the
John does the
feed
agenda.
screen.
Yeah.
Say.
We just see a little
If
bubble.
you share something, we'll see if it pops up on the other screen.
Is he coming to the meeting?
No, he's,
Oh, it's February.
John's not coming?
I believe so. As far as I know.
First thing.
Give me copies of it. Yes.
You.
Oh, you don't have it? You don't have the agenda?
I don't, I typically,
Oh,
I'm sitting in person. I know Jose's on the line, but maybe he can send it to me.
Oh,
I mean, it's on the website.
It's in the calendar invite.
It is, all right.
Hello again, sir.
Hello,
Twice in one day.
twice in one day.
Sounds like we're missing some fireworks over at Artisan Park.
Uh-oh.
What's going on?
To you, Jeffrey.
Somebody's not happy over at the finance meeting. I had to walk out before I got to see what actually goes down, but.
Sounds like fun. Jose, you
Something.
feeling okay?
Just.
Don't sneeze on us. BOSC sent it.
How's it going, Bill?
Good, good, man. I stopped by earlier today to say hi and they said you were at home.
Do you want me to join the teams and then I can share it, or are you gonna join the team? Do you have the agenda?
I already
I
have it
don't.
shared on my screen.
No, we're
I
not
just wanted a
doing that.
copy of, a paper copy.
Jose, can you
of it.
email it to me relatively
It was,
quickly?
it was already forwarded to you.
I don't see, there's not even an option to like change the display on here. Screens, there we go. I think we got it. Okay, we're good.
Got it?
So,
I can see your screen
so
now.
who can make a copy of it? Thank you.
On paper?
He just went through that whole thing.
She's got a closet full of paper.
Yeah.
One of these days, you're gonna need a piece. I remember Jim Hayes last year, he goes, I can't believe you actually found that paper. I said, it's in my closet, just where I said it was.
Krista, you'll appreciate this if you have the same age as my son. So I texted her the other day. So I'm not on back porch and Facebook, you know that, right? So all of a sudden my wife's sitting on, she goes, oh, your son made the back porch.
Oh, that was fun?
I thought that was Jake. That was my son. No, it's not late. That's my son. So basically, he's had a scooter for years and he's electric bike the last 2 years. So I told him, stay off the sidewalks with the bike. The scooter, okay. His bike, his old bike went 13, his new bike goes 20. But if you pedal and use electric, you can get it up 25, almost 30 if you're going downhill.
Yeah.
So he has practice here after school for upward. He's going home from practice, has his helmet
I
on.
kinda got on a look. I
You
haven't
see,
been on the
The
porch.
woman was following him in her car
What's Billy?
with the phone recording him, which is illegal. And he went through some stop signs, which is fine. I talked about the stop signs, but he's literally driving between the car and the parked cars. Which is fine. Like, where is he supposed to go? If he goes like a normal car, which I believe he's supposed to, people will cut him off like they cut me off in a neb all day long. They just zip around. So I don't know what to tell him. And the people posting on were like ripping him. Where's his parents? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like,
Welcome to Facebook.
no, I don't know. Why
Aren't you-
What-
aren't you glad you
What's
joined
this board meeting? I'm getting up in a board meeting and say, what do you want the kids to do? We have children, they make mistakes, they learn. But cars make so many more speeding.
Mhm.
Let's
Stop
not stop at
signs.
stop signs.
Well, just.
I went to Minnesota
Thank
and
you,
people
Jessica.
stop at stop signs there. I was like,
I
what are y'all
stop at
doing?
stop
Thank you.
Silly.
I always stop at stop signs.
I don't know what to tell them.
I feel like the.
Well, I'm glad you reported yourself, so that we know who the offender was, so that we can put that.
Is Anil? Is Anil
What?
on?
This is a bad word I heard.
Which one?
Oh, God.
Oh, wait, this is the finance.
My Celebration FL.
My.
Oh, I.
celebration.
But the bottom line is there's adults and some that don't want kids and stuff.
No, actually, I was trying to change the.
I live in
story.
Arson Park. Well,
You get it on this one?
Well, no, I
They
wasn't
wanted
trying
to
to
be the
be
village.
I was trying to have
Dot
both screens
com?
be active. When we set this up, both screens.
My celebration.
Yeah, we should have My Celebration FL, that's it. Yeah.
It's all
Just
right.
FL.
Yes, it's an app.
It's
not a
an app,
website.
not a website.
Oh, what'd you do?
Yeah, I just learned.
So I don't, the only options I have here are gallery, or I have swap screens, that's all I have. When I do that, it goes to that. That's the only option I have here.
My celebration.
Okay,
You search.
I'll figure it out. I'll look myself.
That's, yeah, that's our logo on it.
Okay.
So I wonder if Greg and I are gonna have competing requests all the time
Instead of
again,
filled
like we
out,
normally do.
See, so filled out that ink.
What's your repeating request?
Competing requests, Greg and I always end up having like similar things
Oh.
reported, and the one I have reported is from Hurricane, what was the one 2 years ago? That still isn't resolved.
Yeah,
Yeah. We have 2 trees down and they're still down in Arson Park.
where?
Sitting away. And that's
Right up-
today.
Not the bocce part, not the, so the amphitheater bocce.
Park has it. These-
Yeah,
Not
I
like
did-
all the-
no.
The funny
amphitheater
videos of guys
bocce,
driving in
next
their
one
I'll
up.
tell you, the biggest key is this for me.
They've been down.
You're gonna see a lot of the
They've
technology,
cut,
20.
so they're
100
just
packages,
like-
Gonna go into these.
One's a stump and the other's a
People have
stump
cameras
with a
where
brick
you
ball
can,
sticking
you know,
out. And
touch
it's been
it
that
and
way
they're on
since,
it.
I can show you my cell service. report.
There's so many times I'm like, I wish I could tell where I was looking, because it would make life a lot easier.
Been out there. Greg reported the one and I reported the other. Neither one of them's been fixed yet. Filter to my request. To go, I change the date though, because it's too old.
So with my celebration.fl, I think somebody was asking, can you see somebody else's requests? For something like on Sully, you can see how many people have submitted requests. Can you do it on here? Or you only see your,
Person said, no, you can't, and I don't remember seeing that when we
Yeah.
looked at it. I don't think so.
My last one reporting it was 8 months ago.
Is it still in cell service?
Oh.
Can I see? What?
It's still.
that's what Craftsman, right?
It's been sitting and received. Yeah, it's on Craftsman. There's another one opposite on the other side. There's one on Craftsman East and Craftsman West. They're both like kitty corner from each other because Greg reported the other one. So it might be CCDD because it's in the easement, but
I think we,
Why would
I
you
think-
record it then?
I think we talked to Brian Causey about it.
I can give
last
you a
week.
number if you want. Two of them right there.
Yeah.
And then 5 months ago, I said, any update on this? It's still uprooted. And the one across the street still a stump. And then I never heard back. Get it ready?
You know, this
Oh, we
guy-
got that. Yay.
Ready?
Yes, but I can't hear you very well. Maybe try turning
It's gonna be.
volume. Now, can you say something, Jose?
I just want to know if you were ready to start.
Ah, much better. There we go.
I'm a Commanders fan, unfortunately. I had to pick this as my backup team because I'm so tired of losing.
I think we're ready, right?
Are you talking sports?
Yes,
I root for two teams,
Hmm.
49ers and
Mhm.
whoever the Eagles are playing.
That's fun.
You sound like
I'm
my
rooting for the
husband.
49ers this year because Brock Purdy's an outstander.
I can't stand any San Francisco team because
I can't usually, like, I can't, it pains me a little bit, but Brock Purdy, I gotta
when I
go
go out
all the way.
to Cupertino to my corporate office and see all the Apple fans, they're the worst fans because when the teams win, they're fans. When they're not, they don't give two craps and they never go to a game. That just as a New Yorker, that drives me nuts. You're a fan, be a fan, not a bandwagoner when winning for you. Right? The Warriors, the Niners, right?
It's anything.
There you go.
That's a fan.
From a Bears family, so.
Raiders are different. Raiders.
Yeah, because they keep moving.
The Raider fans always, they're actually really good. You lost the nail?
I don't know, we could start, I think. Jose's
He's
ready
not
to
on
start.
yet. He's not on yet.
You're 3 minutes over after.
You sound wonderful, Jose.
Yeah. Rocking and rolling.
Yeah. All right. Do we have a second to stop the agenda?
Who made the motion?
Okay.
Who made the motion?
I'm making.
Oh,
We're a little informal with Robert. We'll see. We do ask.
but I mean, not the diligence, don't say that.
No, some people want us to be the
Well,
villains.
it's not gonna happen.
As long as our logo stays a kid on a bike and a dog, we need to.
She's a little girl on the back.
All right, Jose, you wanna get your
She's a
update?
baseball glove in her hand.
Sure thing. Let's get it rolling. All right. So starting off with the website, I'm scheduled to remove 4 plugins this Friday. I put it on hold because there were some issues that were being addressed beforehand. One of them was making sure that the governing documents are now sitting on the back end, and some of the documentation and tables were sitting on the back end when the user logs in. So I believe that was resolved today. So I'm gonna take care of that on Friday. So the user should be able to log in and access any documentation they want after they log in and not beforehand. So it's not
They
open
weren't
to the public.
they weren't able to access, sorry. Or they were able.
In other words, they were able to access documentation and information outside of the login. So we
I
corrected
think like
that.
governing documents, those should be in front of the
Yeah.
login. Governing documents
Yeah.
should be, because if you're looking to buy a house, you have the right to be reviewing that charter and the rules and regs. So
Yeah,
you
that's
shouldn't.
I
what
have, so I have an email, and in the email, I don't believe that's it exactly. It was some other documents and tables that were accessible.
Some of the resolution.
I'm sorry, I
That one I
misspoke.
found.
I said the governing documents, but it's not.
Okay, as long as it's not the governing documents, because I
No,
think
it's-
that's a big, like, that's a big deal. Like, if you're someone who's looking, I mean, to be fair, I read
So what documents?
I read
is
the
he
full
talking about?
charter and everything before I
We've
signed
had
the papers
some,
on my
we've had some
house.
challenges in the last week and a half with resolutions. Board resolutions. I don't know if that's what you've seen, Jose, but those are the issues we've had from residents.
I thought that was public also. Board
Technically, they don't be
resolution.
public.
Hmm?
Technically, they should all be,
Everything, all the
Public.
resolutions, I thought were public. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm testing it now. Oh wait, I'm logged in now. I gotta log
Yeah,
out.
I'm watching too, so.
Log out.
What website are you on?
Our website?
Celebration. Well, I don't know, there's.
Yeah.
He's waiting.
Hello's on.
I am not a resident.
Okay, the charter's still up. Those are still there.
Yeah, you can get them to them without.
Okay, as long as those are still there,
Yeah.
like I think that's important. Like with the the declaration of covenants, like all of these things, the charter, basically. I don't necessarily care about the rest of it, because you really want it, you can ask for it, like. But more so as you think about like people who are looking to buy houses or whatever, it's. There was someone who posted not that long ago, they were trying to get the documents for Sienna and couldn't because somebody, they wouldn't give it to them. No, it was Sienna. There's one on,
That's him?
yeah. Artisans is here. Artisans charter's here.
No, the woman that was posting was a real estate agent and she was trying to get it for artists.
Oh,
Yeah.
there was one for Sienna too.
Yeah.
They're all available. And,
Okay, cool.
The sunshine law wouldn't affect public documents, only individual information, I think from users sent, right? Officials or elected members.
There's a gray area whether sunshine law impacts HOAs.
We don't have
HOAs not
sunshine
follow
law.
sunshine law.
Jim told me 2 years ago that sunshine law did affect, like, say,
Most HOAs will
Self-impose it on
self-impose
themselves.
sunshine law just because, just a good practice, but it is, they are not obligated to.
okay, so if I ask for email between Celia and Cindy, they're not, they don't
That's
have to.
different, because that's a public information, because it is the HOA, but it's not sunshine law. It's different than
You would
sunshine law.
have to do a record. to-
But GoGov would be sunshine. I mean, GoGov, CCDD would be, because they're
Yeah,
elected.
they're
Yes.
sunshine.
Right,
So
right.
three of them can't go have a party together,
Well,
or
actually,
five,
two,
four
I
of
don't
them, two, something like
Two of
that.
them. They can't communicate outside of a board meeting.
Yeah,
They can only play cards.
but Celia and the whole board can go over to the tavern and have a drink, and it's not a board meeting.
We've never done that together.
No, but you could.
No, we can't.
Sunshine law restricts you.
No.
You
if
can't.
there's four of us.
It's a quorum.
If there's a quorum, we can't.
according to this legal website, sunshine laws do not apply to
Yes.
Florida HOAs or
Right.
condo.
But to us, the board cannot meet, if there's four of us meeting, that's a quorum and it can't be.
But 3 isn't go up to the town.
But three can, three of us can go. And one just sits on the other side.
3's a lot and 4's a quorum.
It's the truth. So remember that, Bill,
You sit at the table.
when you're at Starbucks.
I'm not saying nothing.
All right,
I got a long way to go before.
okay, governing documents, that's cool.
All
I
right,
just
so
wanted to make sure it wasn't the right those documents.
Right, my mistake. So, Google Analytics was installed, so Krista, I'm gonna grant you access, tomorrow, and make sure that everything is up to stuff.
GA4, yay.
Well, you like to see numbers too, wouldn't you? Like when people hit sites. I'm interested in that. I like to see that too.
Yeah, I use them on my site.
Yeah, so if you get it, just share with the team. If I can see those numbers.
And it's all managed individually by your individual Google accounts, so like you can add and remove people as they come on and off the committee.
Right.
Like you
Yes.
can't like change things, because you're just, it's all reporting.
Yeah.
So
So if you come off the committee, does your access to it go with you?
if somebody moves you from it, then.
No,
yes.
no, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah.
It's thrilling, let me tell you.
It's,
Super easy data.
there are some nice things that we could put event codes on various things, and
That
we
would
can
be
track
nice.
those, so you can see like how many people are coming from different places.
Well, I want to see like when people are logging in compared to not logging in, right? So looking at the information.
Yeah.
And I think when you're looking to do some redesigns or things to it, you want to use it.
You can see like it's live, so you can see how many people are currently
Right.
viewing this,
Well, I-
actually viewing it right now and from what countries.
Just for my own knowledge, I go to websites to look for information and it just blows my mind. I'll look for things like a contact email or an address and it takes 10 minutes to dig through a website to find it. It's like, who designs these? It's like, you should have like your first 5 things that most people go to and those should be easily accessible.
Because when you get to the end of that, they're asking you for money. People go through the whole process.
You mean funnels? That's another word you can write. Sales funnel. The whole world.
What's a funnel?
What you said.
Oh,
right
Okay,
at
after
the end, they
you
ask
get
you for
something
money.
out of you.
Got it.
Or your information. They want your information so they can sell it. So what are the next steps with the website?
So there's still some more plugins that need to be reviewed. And we have to make a decision as to what we're gonna keep, what we're gonna, I guess, hard code and not use a plugin for, what we can or cannot alter. I did speak to Bill, and I met with Bill about a month ago, and I did briefly speak to Krista, and she did mention that not all plugins need to be removed, but that there are some that might not be necessary. So it's just a matter of reviewing those plugins after the fact.
Odds are good, right?
Yeah. And I think it raises a bigger question too, because even if you look at like the communications advisory group recommendation, there was the recommendation of like, let's get everything working again because of the whole malware situation. But it might be time to go down the path of what does the redesign look like? What information are people looking for? How is it? Like, there's definitely some confusing things in there. So is it time to do that? The last time the website was redone, do you remember when that was, Jose? It's
last time.
been, it was, I don't remember how long the template, like when they switched to this website, it's been about a decade. I remember
It's been 10
correctly.
years. Based on the documentation, it's been about 10 years.
So that might be the next path to go down. And I think there was a little bit of a plan laid out of like understanding the focus groups and things like that. So depends on how much effort we want to put into, is it improve on what we have, or is it time for an overhaul?
And I think Celia, as a board member, ought to nominate, do we have a standing communication committee that meets monthly, just like a technology committee that
I
can
would
review
like-
all of these
I would
great
like-
things?
Will
That the board would have implemented a lot of what they came up with and never did.
put water under the bridge on that? So like,
Take
it's
their
it's
recommendations.
a matter of whether, and then that, well, if you start talking about that, then that's gonna beg the question of this website belong under communications or technology? And maybe there's just a communications, but with the technology.
Well, but I
representative or
also, I also
something.
think that, like, for the rec committee, I'm very close to the chair and then I talk to her a lot. So I think when two committees come up with an idea, I think it's a lot more powerful when you go up and present it. So I think the communication between them.
Honestly, I think the website needs to be with you guys.
I'm all for it.
I think it needs to be with the communications.
I would agree.
Why?
Because
Well, no, you do the technical stuff and they do the,
Yeah, but you need the communications would be like, what kind of communications are we giving? How are we organizing it? That's not technology.
Yeah.
The website. The technical part is more just a vehicle
okay,
to show information.
okay.
Designing it is you have to understand what kind of information are you delivering.
Communication in a different way.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a team that
Right.
is responsible for communicating with the community. The website is a major part of that.
Yeah,
Right.
But if it's an infrequent group that makes a recommendation and nothing happens, then I think it needs to move to a standing group
Mhm.
that meets monthly and goes, what are we doing to make the website better? Or all communication,
Communication committee.
a true communication.
Right, and I would challenge them to some of the ideas that they have, go past information, but how do you want to go to that information? Then that works with us to show, do you want like live chat on it, do you want email to send? it?
Yeah.
So that's a
there's
tool.
definitely there has to
And we've
be.
had,
really-
I don't know anybody on the communication.
There is no communication.
There isn't one.
That's what I was thinking.
That's why you don't know
When
anybody
you
on
went
it.
to a board meeting, when's our board meeting? I forgot. It's on a Wednesday, I know that. Can you suggest it?
We check the website.
So that's the
That's
21st, right,
the
or 20th?
21st. It's the
When we pick that
21st.
thing?
A
To the board.
standard committee for
Yeah, moving
communication.
forward. Isn't that what you're talking about?
Implement.
You don't want him to say anything?
That's up to y'all. You were already given the recommendation
know.
last year,
I
so I
know.
don't feel
That's
like
right.
it's the residents' duty to tell you that this is what
No.
you should be doing.
No, we are
He's the
gonna,
resident, he's the technology, the chair.
So
That's what I'm saying.
she was on our team last year and she was part of that. What's her name?
Janine,
Janine, and she's still,
there is no
I
communicator
understand.
committee. We were
They
on the
were not,
committee.
they were an
We
advisory group.
recommended they implement a committee.
Right.
That never went anywhere. But why would we say you
that
should
was-
have one
that was-
unless we have specific
that
action
was-
items for them?
You
We
never
do.
went
It's been 10
anywhere
years and
because
hasn't been-
that was.
I can articulate.
I don't care I don't care the past. The
Right.
Point is, if we're going to recommend this,
Right.
why would we have to have an action of why we would recommend it. We don't just
Okay.
recommend to recommend.
I would get up there and say, because we're looking to improve our website with communications and information for the residents. With that, we need a group of people that focus on the information that's gonna be shared through the website, and that means the two committees need to work together. So with that, I need a full committee.
Yeah.
There's more to it than that for the communications. There's way more to
Do
it
that
than that.
now.
So I
That's
feel like I've been fielding questions about the communications advisory group from everybody and their dog in celebration lately. So it's on everybody's mind, and that's everybody thinks they're gonna come in and recommend that we do this. So I
What's your recommendation?
that it needs to be done, but I don't know that we're the right people. Frankly, I just don't want to get involved in that mess right now because I have fielded at least 3 or 4 messages in the last week or two about what are we gonna do about communication? Should we have a committee?
Right, because when April, we're all gonna be up again for the committees. That's the time to add the new committee if we're gonna do that,
So if you strongly believe that we should, and we have a good reason as to why, I'm fine with it, but I feel like we've got other things on our plate, like, we don't even know what we wanna do with the website, other than we just said, okay, what's next? All right, well, we should probably do something. So like, I don't know what,
But that's part of.
I don't understand your objection
Right.
to him suggesting to the
Go
board
for
that we
it.
talk about it. In the light of, we just said this thing hasn't been updated in 10 years with a new theme.
Yeah.
It's about time.
And I think
We
you'd be the
talk,
perfect person to sit on both committees.
Oh,
Her.
I'm already on too many.
she's everywhere. Have
She's
you
on-
seen that? She's all over
he's on
the,
the big,
she's on master planning advisory group.
What would you need? Well,
I feel like, go ahead and recommend, and just,
I'll
if
recruit
it's
you.
ultimately them that they need to do, you can't, I mean.
But there'll be new board members as well, right? So-
And all of the new board members, it's already top of their mind. All the new at least the people who are running for the board, they're all talking.
So are
about
you
it.
suggesting waiting till the new board is seated?
I
Okay.
mean, what power would, like, I guess they can make a decision. I don't, honestly, I really
I
don't.
just want him to put the bug in.
The bug's there, so it's just a quick bug.
Do you want it on the agenda as a discussion item?
That's
No,
not for me to
No,
discuss.
I think it would be on the liaison,
Chair.
the committee, the committee chair to get up and say, oh, this is everything we discussed. Don't say go, God. And now,
Sure.
moving forward, we also are discussing this, having a communication committee. Not a task force, not an advisory group, a true
I just think it's
committee.
out in our lane.
No, I agree with that. I don't
It's
understand.
out our lane, out of our
As
lane.
residents, I completely agree that we need this, but this is a technology committee. Why
Yeah.
are we talking about?
Because they work together. Neither of them will work
They
without.
do,
working
they
together.
work together. Sure, there's a lot of things that work together, but this is a topic about whether or not we should have a committee for communications, not about how we have to present.
No, I'm identifying a gap in our charter for building the website that we need. And it sounds like the communications committee would fill that gap that we have on our side.
To update the content, is that what
To
you're
work
saying?
together with the information that's gonna go on the website, because the tools, plugins and stuff for the website will tie into what communication we're doing. Right, live text, email, blogs, forms, all those things
Just
work
about the
together.
website,
So-
it
so
really is
it's,
a recommendation for our committee to say, hey, we think we need to update the website. That's the recommendation for our committee, is the website needs an overhaul.
And by the way, it would be great if we had another committee to work with, like the.
Well,
Because that's going to be one item on their list too.
Right, because like Tom said, and I agree with the point, it is not our job to decide the information that's on the website. It's our job to decide how the information is gonna be. But they
Well, I'm
work
not so
together.
sure I even agree with that. The ergonomics of the interface to the website that's a whole different group of people. There's artistic aspects, that's not us. We're
That's
technology
me,
people.
the user experiences, that's my background.
Okay, that's you, but I'm
Yes.
saying that's
Yeah.
not you.
No, that's not our
That's good.
committee, and I'm perfectly, I'm
That's
saying
good
like,
with
yeah.
you as a person, but the technology committee is about technology.
Mhm.
And I understand, I do take the point that, yes, in order to have effective communications, we need a technology element to present. I get that part. So I agree with that. But for us to say, hey, technology committee recommends that you guys go off and establish communications, unless you make that connection that says, so that we can know
Justify it.
what to do. as
Well, Tom, I can
technology.
make that pretty easily.
Okay.
But should we?
And that's fine. I'm just telling you what I would say. So we're looking as a technology group, towards the end, we're looking at the website, which hasn't been updated in 10 years. We're looking at modern technologies that are out there. These are not communications, they're technologies. Instagram, Twitter or X, what we're gonna call it, community forums, business chat. These are all technologies, Tom, they're technologies. But for us to even look at exploring some of those technologies, we need to be working with a communications group if that's something that they want to use to improve communication with the new website. Now, if there's not a committee, that's fine. You can be one person, but we're thinking about these things now,
Yeah.
and we want to work with somebody on that strategy.
Well,
It's find
technology,
it, yeah.
well, technology is just a vehicle. What you carry in that vehicle is now at the stage where we're at. The website has stabilized. Common issues have been fixed. There's been a task force that's made recommendations that haven't gone anywhere in almost a year. Is that correct? Is that
Sure.
accurate? Okay.
Yeah.
In order to move this vehicle forward to the next step, we need a standing group that is working to continually update and propose new communication strategies. We are technologists. We provide the vehicle. They've got to drive.
That's
it.
what I kind of was
I guess
trying
so.
to get the message to you,
Right.
saying you're the technology committee and the
Yeah.
communication group gets the communication out there.
So when I think of the technology committee and I think of technology as a pillar, the website isn't on that list. The website is a communications thing. And the website, to be frank, up until this year, anyone who asked about the website, that's not part of the technology committee. The only reason the website's here is because I was working with Jose on it and then I'm on the committee and then we've started doing updates in this meeting.
That's correct.
So if we're saying that the website is now the technology committee's, like, that's our purview, we own that. Until this year, that wasn't the case.
Okay, well, let me ask you a
And
question.
so like, but what's the point?
Well, here's the point. We have a 10-year website here, right? We as technologists envision a website that looks like this, that has all these new modern technologies in it. Who decides that? Who decides that? I'm not talking about the information that's on, I'm talking about this website. That's our job.
They decide, we recommend.
But how, so if somebody stands up in a meeting and says, you know, we're using TikTok, the school's using TikTok, Osceola County's using TikTok, the sheriff's using it, we want it on the website. You go that with the communication group and ask them that?
That would
And would that be even
actually-
feasible? We'd have to ask Jose, should we tie that into
That would
the?
actually fall in communications and digital marketing, because that's where the different regulations and rules, like, this is a Janine conversation, because that's her bread and butter.
So
What do you have to
typically-
say, okay?
So typically what happens is we are the purveyors of the technology. Someone has to own it. At the end of the day, we're going to facilitate the technology and the resources provided that it meets whatever policies or guidelines are in place. Someone has to own the communications piece for it, or the forward facing portion of this system. It just fell on us because we were fixing a problem, as Krista pointed out. And to everyone's point, yeah, they're all valid statements, but they should sit on someone else's lap.
Website, it's a operational thing,
I-
unless we're like, blue sky in it.
Didn't they hire a communication person?
We do, we have, if all, like, communication.
And so,
Yeah, I'm just saying, I will support, if the team wants to go that direction, I'm okay to support it, but I would still argue with, just with us.
Yeah.
Facebook is not a communication company. Facebook is a technology company. They bought Instagram, Facebook,
That's-
all the stuff that they buy the technology, they provide
I'm
zero
not-
content.
I'm not-
But they don't provide any information or content. Everybody else does, and that's where the information there. So that's just my point, but I understand. what you guys are saying.
So brand manager has somebody on staff that's responsible for communications.
There's multiple communications.
So who?
well,
do
there's a
they liaise with?
specific, that would be Amber. She's the communication.
But I think we're trying to solve problems, it's not ours, and we're spending time on the agenda for those things.
Okay, we have I'm sure with plenty of time.
So, but it's just, unless we're like blue skying and like saying we're gonna do something new, I don't disagree that it is technology, but there's also a point where we come up with like, where do we want the community to go? What's the next thing from a technology perspective? And once it's operational and moving, it moves to operations and it's not us.
Also, if you're talking about a technology committee to oversee what's communicated on the website or what's communicated, period, that's not. okay.
No.
Yeah.
No, this
So
is,
I would say also, the reason the website is 10 years old, because no technology person owned it. They communications on it for 10 years, and that's why. Because
No one really
they don't look, but they don't look at the technology, just look at the communications on it.
so to bottle it all up, because I think I started this. The website is stable, it's working. if we want to advance, we want to recommend that the neighborhood advance communications. Is there a way to do a standing committee that's officially recognized by the board, that's not involved with technology, partners with technology when it needs? That was the question that I laid out initially. So you want to table it, we could table it. But I think if the website's ever going to change, it's going to take concerted effort. It seems to be a gap where things keep falling. That was one of our first conversations you and I had.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we worked on this and then
And it's
Nothing happened.
stable, but it's not great. Like,
No,
I mean, the back end's
no.
pretty terrible right now,
Yeah.
like still.
this
so.
is my job. This is what I do during the day.
Yeah,
too. I run
well,
an
it's very reliable.
thing and I've been working on websites forever and they take constant maintenance. That's the real problem.
Yes.
And it seems like it's. a
So
gap.
can I ask a question on your resolution? Have you guys,
Our resolution was to implement stuff for the dog park.
no, have you like,
That's what our resolution was.
seriously?
Yes,
Okay,
Yeah.
then just that?
Which we've done.
it was to implement the ability to have vaccinations recorded and shut off people's access. That was our resolution.
So you've completed
Well,
your
that's
task.
further on.
No,
That's
I-
now
Yeah.
at C.
It's on the agenda.
So there'll be a new, could be a whole completely different group in
Yeah.
2 months, right?
No.
So,
Probably.
I
not
feel
the
very
way-
passionately that the website needs to be redone.
I know you do.
I feel very passionately that we need to focus on technology. I'm not sure that we're the group for the website though. That's where my disconnect is.
Oh, I totally agree with you. I'm just
Mhm.
asking the board to set up a standing committee for communications. That's all.
So that is a homeowner, you can do that, but I don't think it's us as a technology committee saying
Okay.
that they need to start. a
I just
committee.
think, and I agree, with you. I just think that, and I'm okay to do that. And if somebody came to me and said, John, I know you don't want, you're gonna frown on it, but we want to use Apple Pay or Google Pay on the website to pay our dues. If you went to a communication person and asked that question, your head would spin.
I don't care, like, I use Google Pay.
But I'm saying, but
It's not
that,
on my
so
phone.
there are tons of technologies now that are built into websites, and I think the two groups, I think,
But that's not our website also, so that falls under the resident portal, we won't make. The website that we currently have, its only function is communication.
Mhm.
When you start talking about the other things, like some of the stuff we're doing for the owner app or the portals, Grand Manners owned, like
Yeah, that's
that's all through that, so
That's
that's not something that we would
you
do.
never move something over to that.
Our
side.
website is a fully communication-based website. It's communicating with people who aren't Celebration residents, communicating with people who are Celebration residents. It's portrayal of information rather than I'm going there to pay my dues. It can give you a link, but ultimately the dues get paid in.
And I agree with that, and I totally understand that, but when we've discussed also like GoGov and owner about having one place to go for stuff. If we're sitting here really whiteboarding out our North Star, it would be one site for everything.
Problem there is,
And I
yeah,
understand
we
the
change
problem.
management companies or back end for payments and that stuff changes.
Yeah, no, I totally understand.
And I don't want to try and roll
Alright,
it.
so let's table,
Yeah.
so let's hold up on that comment. I'm looking up to be in 3 months, I'll say it again.
I think that comment will be made by plenty of people.
Not as eloquently as I would say.
And I think you can still state that comment, but I don't know that the technology committee is our place to tell them what's like to set up a new.
Yeah, but
committee.
who would tell the board?
You bring it up
As the liaison.
as a board,
Oh, well, no, as a board, I don't know.
as a board member, you bring it up and say, we need this.
As the technology?
No.
No,
Just as a board member.
then I'll bring it up on the board comments.
That's something you
Can
can
I,
do.
can I say that I have the discussion with the technology committee or? No, I want to make sure I get it correct.
Yes, it was a lively discussion in our meeting, it was brought up, and you think it'd be a good idea, looking forward, that this was something,
Communication committee.
But make sure you say a standing.
Stands.
That doesn't go away.
You could even
Oh,
reference,
that's the.
you could even
advisory
reference
task force.
the recommendations.
Correct.
Committee does it.
You could
Correct.
reference the recommendations that were given originally, because it's not a new idea from us.
It's from the
It's fully
communication.
laid out.
I don't know if it's in my closet. I have to go see what section.
It's on the
It's,
website.
it's,
Yeah,
on, it's on the website.
I'll put this to bed after this, Krista, and listen, I think this is all fantastic feedback, but just looking at going backwards again to look at the future, if you look how things got done here in the last, and I've been here for 13 years. Tom,
Did you say they've already
No.
done that?
I
No,
didn't. I said, if you look at Tom and Jim, they have to get it done themselves. And when I talk to Jose and Lauren now, Jeff, when they gotta get stuff, done, like, they gotta get it done, right? So all these other people, it's just, a lot of times the doers do,
Mm.
right? And we're a bunch of doers, and we made a lot, right? So it's, yes, it'd be great if we can let it, people do all this stuff, but it's just, if you wanna get stuff done, sometimes you gotta, keep your fingers down a little bit.
yeah.
Oh, I found it on the website.
What is it?
The work that was done by the
Diary.
communication group.
I have a folder in my closet. I have to.
I have a website. closet.
Can you email that to me? So I
I'll send you
print
the
it?
link.
In your closet?
I have every piece.
Can
of
we
paper
ship it and
since I
buy
was
Celia a
born.
computer as individual citizens?
No computers.
It's way too many pages.
You don't
Don't
have a
print it
computer?
again.
26 pages.
I
Don't
can
print
print
it
it. I
again.
just got a new printer.
Okay.
Just
If you
email.
send it to me, I'll print it for here's it.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, we print it again.
No, just if you send.
Thank you.
I think I'm
Please,
gonna
I'll-
host my meetings remotely more often. It's more fun this way.
You having more fun?
It's Jeff, I'm just saying, it's Jeff, I'm just saying,
Is Jeff? Okay.
it's Jeff.
All right, here we go.
Thank
New
you.
folder.
Because I will highlight every single thing in it. I have to highlight.
All right. Can we move on to the other the things that are
Yeah,
actually
we gotta go quick,
technology
yeah.
pillar?
Well, then we might have new posting.
All right. So can we move on to EV charging?
Peace, Jose.
Oh, we're only gonna
Okay.
be.
All right, so I spoke with Doug. We are getting on a call with them next week, Monday. There was some holdup and delays on their part. They sent me an email. I already informed Jeff, who's in front of you, that we're gonna make sure that whatever terms we decide as a committee will be written on paper and will be provided to them so that they can provide a contract. We'll make sure that contract does not get signed until the committee reviews it, as Anil requested. So once we get that, we can get the ball rolling. Any questions or comments regarding EV charging?
See, that was easy.
Okay, good. So instead of my celebration app update, so we all attended a training. Access was given to myself, Lauren, the facilities team, and various other users to start reviewing it, making iteration changes on some of the requests, and we're just working on that collectively. So that's work in progress, but we have access to it
Working
now.
with Angel from CCD.
Yes, we have another training on Friday that we're going to attend, just to make sure that we understand what the workflow behavior is like, and just to make sure that everything is up to
All right,
stuff.
well, I'm
and
just
up
saying,
our-
Jose, if you feel like they're not listening to you, or things are slow, or you need something sped up, let me know, because I can go directly to Tom Tuzan, who Greg told me that he's handling it from their side. So if I have to, because again, I told Greg, I stood up and went to bat for you guys. We really need focus on this and attention.
So yeah,
What's
so
the
I mean,
rollout plan with residents? Because it was
So-
definitely confusing
so-
yesterday when like a board candidate posted, like, everybody go install this. I was like, oh, we're launching now?
So
And
that
it
wasn't
hasn't
us.
He said
So
they were
you
very
know,
excited.
we
been- I know it
attended
wasn't
that
you.
meeting.
I know it wasn't.
We
So,
attended
and
that
then
meeting, and that's what we
came
was
out.
expected to hear, and we never got
Yeah,
that.
and then CCD came out and said something, and then finally CROA. So I don't know there if who's not
Communicate
talking.
Your communication.
Should I just say?
Just
you see what I said?
It's not technology.
What a
Right,
recurring
that's
theme.
technology.
I love that theme.
So, but like, yeah, I don't know if we have like an implementation plan, because like, if I didn't know that it was going on, I was just, it was confusing. It was very
So-
confusing yesterday.
So I'm gonna build it the same way I'm building out the ONR plan. So that way we could send an alert, send a notification, and then if there's some in-house training where the residents want to come in, and we could set them up, or we could do it by
Have a plan,
location.
because we're launching now, like, it launched yesterday, basically, is my understanding now. So do we
But-
have a plan?
Was there an email
So
sent
so
about
that
it?
Yes,
that launched for them, for CCDD. They haven't launched it
there was
for us.
something in,
Yeah.
Town Hall posted it today too.
Well,
the
that was
celebration-
unbeknownst to me.
Town hall webpage or Facebook page.
Well, I'll look into it, but that,
So
That
like,
was-
but regardless of what's happened, we're at the point now where it's out there.
Yeah.
So what's our plan to train residents and bring them up to speed so they're not confused? Because now there's two apps. And that's the whole thing we're trying to avoid.
so I guess, can I say something? Can I suggest putting our training videos at the celebration website that we created and send a blurb saying, hey, you can access the My Celebration app training videos here at the following links, and then they can just see those trainings at their leisure.
Is this what you're talking about? You did this, they,
Celebration Town Hall,
Right
the
here.
CGD.
shared.
What are you looking at? Yes.
This is the postings on Facebook. from-
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, right here, it was from the CD, it was, yeah,
Facebook?
Celebration shared the CDD stuff that says attention residents.
Right,
Celebration Town Hall, the official, like,
communication. portal.
communication.
But it was a face, it wasn't an email. to us.
No,
No,
Oh, it's-
but
I don't get Facebook.
sometimes
but that's. a lot of
something is
different-
shared from
Right.
the town hall
That's official.
Facebook.
That's official.
It's from the CDD, it's official, so now the residents are, okay, well, how do I do this? And there was one comment saying, oh, just go, take a moment, download it from the App Store.
Mhm.
Yeah,
My celebration.
Greg Filak liked this post.
yeah,
Well, he likes all of it.
But the celebration, so the Community Development District posted it, which is fine, that it's not fine.
on
There
their
should be-
site.
There should be some better communication between the groups and planning,
Because
Again.
their piece of it is.
Water under the bridge.
but then Town Hall, Celebration Town Hall, CROA's official
Mhm.
Facebook page, then shared that post,
Right,
making it official
right,
for CROA as well.
making it bad for the residents not understanding what to do.
So there's a lot of confusion. So I think whatever implementation plan we have needs to be kickstarted, like.
Do you want to ask Greg why that was?
Like tomorrow.
You know?
No, I saw that Eric announced it also.
Eric did first, then
Yeah.
CCDD, and then Town Hall copies
Yeah.
CCDDs.
Eric,
So they took Apple Card.
Yeah. And I was just like, I feel like I would, being on the technology committee, we
Right.
would know that it's
Right.
launching and.
does Eric just as a resident or Eric did it from an official?
He doesn't have any official.
He does, that's why I'm asking, so he just.
Think he say.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, Jacqueline.
we attended, I think, John, you were there when we attended the CCDD meeting.
I wasn't in California.
Okay,
I was
sorry.
there. Yeah.
Okay, you were there.
I was on.
So I'm asking you as the chairman to follow up. Number one, we submitted 9 bugs, problem reports. We said we have no idea what the disposition of those reports are. Did you address them? They said, well, the reason we didn't get back to you is because you guys dropped off the map at Scroll. So therefore we felt like we didn't need to. Well, now we're back on and we asked for those 9. We want to know where they are. Otherwise, that's going to be lead me to point number 2. And that is, what is the mechanism for us to submit bug reports? I have a bug report, which I consider to be a big bug that I would like to know to submit as a problem and have a P1. You guys have to fix this. And I'll tell you guys what this is right now. If you misenter your password when you set up your account, you have no option. Unless you remember what you put in there incorrectly, which you won't, right? Because we're trying to put in something else. There's no second line for you to re-enter it or to display the password that I just entered. So you have no clue. That's it, you're done. You'd have to establish a new account.
Are you talking about mycelebration.fl?
Yes, I am. It's a bug.
Submit a password change?
When
They have
you
your-
know, when you're logged in as somebody with a different password and you don't know what the password is. Because it was one-time entry where you cannot see the
I
password.
understand, but if I do John.Greenberg at Celebration of the US and I put in password and I
I
misplaced
don't
it.
see any place to reset my password.
Okay.
Not that I know of. That's why it's,
So if you reset it, then it's.
to me, this is a P1 bug. Somebody will misenter the password and now they'll be locked down. Okay, so I'm only pointing that as an example, We saw some other residents comment of other features. We could say those were P3s, These are feature requests. They're not necessarily bugs. They're enhancements that we would like to the software, for example. What other people have submitted this same problem? Did you saw that? Oh, you're not on Facebook. Well, so the tree down that Chris had talked about earlier, who knows how many people submitted that also? She has no clue whether they did or they didn't, because you can't see those other reports.
Well, Mr. Question, when you left that meeting that I was not at, what was the follow-up? Is it a further meeting, a call?
At the time, it was yes, we're gonna work together, we're gonna do all this, but I haven't seen anything.
Did Tom Tuesday on that, or Greg on that, or Angel?
Well, Tom Tuzman, I would say was the most responsive.
All right, so I need to reach out to Tom.
Yeah, where are
There's
we on the
two
9
things. There's the-
reports?
Bugs, yeah.
9 bugs.
Bugs.
Okay, not all of them are
And communicate.
P ones. And how do we submit new ones? That was the thing I asked at that meeting. So it's kind of like an out of sight, out of mind. We walk away from the meeting and then nothing happens.
So let me ask, and don't take this the wrong way. You go back and say that that's a P1. I go talk to Tom Tuesday, and Tom Tuesday says, all right, well, we don't really feel it's a P1. How did your group decide it's a P1? Well, Tom decided. Is that okay? I'm okay with that. Or do we need to bring back ourselves as a group and decide what's P1, P2, or P3?
I'm okay with them. I mean, personally, recategorizing, we're not, but something that's service affecting is pretty.
I just want
It's
to know for a
pretty obvious
process
that
that
it's service affecting.
that they'll come back and ask. right?
So this hasn't even gone live to the community and there's already issue.
There's always gonna be.
Well, there's
issues with
always
software.
been, but
But
they-
you're
they
not
weren't-
getting anything
they
resolved.
weren't show stopping. They weren't bad enough for us to say, hey, we think that this is so bad you shouldn't launch.
No, but
Didn't get-
you
we get
expressed your concerns and nobody has.
feedback. No feedback yet.
Right.
Right.
Yes, we provided written feedback. These are the issues that
How
we've
long
seen.
ago?
Months.
Well, that's what Greg will say. When that was given, they thought we were gonna roll out. And then when the whole thing happened, a couple of board meetings, they weren't sure, so they just went ahead without kind of keeping
Yeah.
it separate. They're like, why should we fix this if they're not gonna be part
All
of it?
right, so then when we passed it,
We passed it, right, so.
Yeah, and then
it was only a month later.
And then we brought it back up again and said, hey,
Right.
where are these
Right.
9? And we haven't heard
We haven't
anything
heard back,
since.
so let me take-
I'm only saying that we would like, it's not a complaint. We want a mechanism.
He just wants an update. He wants a
Yeah.
status update.
I want to know where the 9 are and I want to know how.
And Greg told me that Angel was supposed to let, like, I wish I was at that meeting, when I was in California.
Yeah, you were there, right, when this came up?
So you've had that status updates from a technical perspective, and then we also have to deal with, it's launched now, so we need to get stuff out to
Yeah.
residents.
Jose,
As soon as
we
possible.
reviewed Jose's videos.
Yeah.
Right, we all did, and we liked it, made some suggestions, he fixed it, we
Mhm.
should just, here it is.
Yeah, we should just move
This is the
forward.
training.
We gave
Go
it to
watch
them.
these videos.
We gave it to them for review and they never responded.
Jose, do you reach out to them? Does Lauren? Or-
Lauren did,
That's
Lauren
it.
has, she sent several
Yeah.
emails.
I'm just saying that might be in their minds, the issues that multiple people are reaching out to them.
Oh,
At this point, it doesn't matter.
Well,
We just need to get stuff out there, so.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
It's-
they're not
it's
quick to respond.
No, I understand, but if I reach out, if I call Tom tomorrow and you already reached out, he
Well,
gets.
we've spoken to Greg and just said, we haven't spoken to my.
I just think for future, it's better if there's one voice that goes to
Should it be
them.
Angel, like? Wouldn't Angel be the main point?
I'll ask them, because when I talked to Greg last time, Greg said Tom to me.
Angel's been.
really? You're not gonna be at the meeting tonight?
Well, whoever's gonna be whoever it is that takes bug requests and can give us updates on status, whoever their PM is or whatever, like
Well,
whoever's
probably-
filling that role.
So the way they said that the training, they weren't gonna use the auto assign portion. One person in CCDD, Jasenia, will take all requests and kind of disseminate.
That's
I
the
would imagine
difference.
they're gonna do the same for the,
Right.
for the bugs and like, that's their.
That came up also, they're not gonna use the capability of directing problems to the person that they know should address that problem. Because that may, in their mind, that could change, so they're gonna manually walk a piece of paper and hand it to someone. And they're not gonna journal the fact that they did that, so there'll be no tracing or trackability to know that that problem went to you. So, but I mean, that's a whole different topic. We raised all these things at the meeting.
Wouldn't the cell service shut off?
The contract ends in March.
Yes, and I received the email yesterday.
Who's responsible for shutting that down so that it's down and gone?
That'll be me. I would have to.
Okay,
go
you have,
into
you have the ability, you have what you need in order to, when
Yes.
it's time to say goodbye, it's done
Yeah.
and can't be used, okay? Cause we
It'll
don't
be
want people.
removed from the Apple Store and from the
Yeah.
Android store.
All right. Okay, good. All right. Key card access, Jose.
All right, so we had our kickoff meeting. It went well. I started plugging all the information in on monday.com. So as far as the requirements that were needed, we got the server spinned up. We're just waiting on a license to come in so that we can activate it. We have the PC was ordered. It should have arrived today, if not tomorrow. The panel was already placed where we had discussed last, and it's a fire rated panel. It was painted and dismounted on the wall inside the IT room. We have I believe it's the 13th of February. We're gonna meet to start getting all the equipment ready and then start deploying at Town Hall. Shortly thereafter, once we're done with that, I think the next location to set up would be, and best location to set up would be Dog Park to address some of the issues. So I confirmed that with Brian and he's okay with it.
Jose, I'd like to propose that we move, I'm not sure where Artisan Park is in this list, but I would say by number of ports, it's probably one of the higher facilities that we have, that we can move this up on the list and get it done sooner rather than later. We don't want to be first there, but we don't want to be last either.
That's a big chunk of the,
There's a lot of, yes,
Yeah.
that's a big Corolla facility with a lot of card key,
More than the dog
Readers.
park.
definitely. The
Yeah.
dog park has 4.
Okay. So
Can you move us up on the list? I guess that's the question.
after dog park. or
yes,
before dog
yeah,
park?
so
That's the after
it would
dog park.
be, so we would want to tackle Dog Park and CCFC, and then if we want to do Artisan Park afterwards, we can.
Okay.
We
I think
just
that
want to
makes
address those big gated areas that are trouble areas and iron that out right away.
Okay, that's fine.
And dog park checks off our charter. For the year, we met our goals.
Okay,
Then
Uh,
after that, you would move to like.
so then
lakeside.
Jose, could you schedule the walkthrough? Because they still need to go through the building and assess what it actually needs to get done.
I'll be sure to schedule it. I mean, you will be invited in all those meetings. So anything that we need to bring up, you can always just
Okay.
put it in an
okay,
email, or you could speak onto it with Scott.
Okay,
What's the next largest facility? then?
Just
Is that-
book it around the fish and chips.
Is that like, is that like?
Lakeside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, somebody said fish and chips?
Yeah, book it around. I'll be there. Fish and chips. That's
So
it.
like, probably like.
Always on the
Pine
menu.
Artisan.
Then parking lot village.
I would inherit it.
So that's where we're at with the key card access, but so things are moving along. I don't foresee there being any major issues so far, fingers crossed, knock on wood.
where
But
does the
that's,
computer play in that you said, you
the-
said?
it's
you're
a
already-
it's a workstation.
Oh, I see. And this
So-
is
so-
gonna be the client that accesses
Yeah.
the server. The access
So
server,
we
okay.
have a Dell Optiplex that's about 10 years old that needs to go. It's ancient, so we're swapping it out with something.
This
more
website.
serious.
Yeah, probably. Go for it, on it.
Jose, are we working on some sort of a communication? Not that I want to bring up communication.
It says right here, communication committee or TIF.
We talked about this at the meeting. We need to start priming people because we're surely gonna make some mistakes when we transfer the CSV and
Yeah.
some keys aren't gonna work. We talked about this.
Right.
We're not planning on that happening, but we should be realistic that it might happen and therefore start
Especially on the first launch.
warning
We have a
people that,
communication go out to the residents saying,
yes, that's
it's gonna be some hiccups along the way. Please be patient.
Good news, we're updating and people, everybody I've talked to is really excited
Yeah.
about this. You're telling me
I'm
I'm not
telling
gonna
you,
need that
everybody's
plastic
excited.
anymore? I just talked to some people today, they're like, oh, finally, get rid of the
Yeah,
plastic.
just be
Do we have
patient.
we have a timeline? Cause I think as long as we have a timeline, then you can start building, they can start building a communication plan around. So when is the first
We'll
install
say
gonna
when we met
happen?
with them, what did they say? I forgot.
6 months, I was told, for owner to get the car.
No, for you're
For
talking
key
about the
card
install.
access.
Yeah,
Yeah.
key card access. How long was the transition to the last facility?
To the last
They
facility,
said-
6 months.
6 months.
6 months, okay.
And that's
When
what
does
do the
it
owner.
start? That's the question. So when, like, do we know when it will start? That's the,
In my view,
that's where the
it
communication.
started because the first thing was for him to do what he did.
There's
Was
there's
the
no
load server.
installation yet.
So we can start porting over.
Yeah, but what the things that will impact the residents, when does that start?
That'll
When
start
are they
in about
gonna-
another week and a half.
So they communicate, there's your deadline
So,
for
so
communication.
we're gonna send a blast to the community for specifically for town hall, because that's the first building we're gonna work on. Letting them know
Okay,
that we're
so-
gonna start there, and then whenever we're gonna hit another building, we're gonna just send a notification there as well.
Just
Okay,
make sure
so,
that-
so going back though, so it's town hall, then CCFC, then the dog park, then Artisan.
Number
It's
three.
gonna be-
Artisan.
I didn't have,
It's
no,
it's gonna
No,
be
town hall, I didn't have
town.
that list.
Town Hall Dog Park.
Yeah, town hall is first.
Okay.
Yes,
Dog Park, then
What was
CCFC.
CCFC?
CTFC and dog park are together.
yeah.
Oh, okay,
So.
gotcha.
So some bugs should be ironed out here first.
That's the purpose why we're doing it at town hall, because we will still have the other key card access running in parallel, and we're doing one door at a time.
So Jose, I would
Time
just
things.
ask, before we're ready to go resident, I would ask that our tech committee's accounts and our cards are put in first, so we can see, and then I wanna find, like, I want you to intentionally break mine and walk me through the path to get it resolved.
Okay,
Can you do that next week?
Sure.
Okay, cause that, like, if we're.
Break my card, and let me resolve it, then so we know, yes, because I,
gotcha. Make sure that we do that.
But we can communicate to the residents that it's going to be happening, and
Right.
so that's,
when
Yeah, like
yeah.
in Friday Flash and Monday Matter.
right, when it hits a pool.
this one probably would constitute its own.
But most importantly, also
Yeah,
let
but if
them
you
know.
keep putting it in the,
Yeah, it belongs there
Yeah.
too, but when it's actually happening at town hall, it
Yeah.
probably deserves its own, like
Yeah,
we've said stuff
definitely.
when other things are
Definitely.
closed, so.
And make sure we let people know what steps to take.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That has to be crystal clear, easy, because people don't mind it breaking, people care about how to fix it.
Right.
I'm fixing stuff all
so,
the time.
so if I don't have my Crow card and I wanna get into the playground,
You can use your.
I just put my
Not
phone
yet.
up to it?
Yeah,
Now,
Not yet,
we
but
only get about a 57% open for Monday matters and all communication, but.
So you said that the phone stuff doesn't happen until we're done, so we're 6 months
Right.
out from it.
6 months to the
So
phone.
don't get so excited, don't be like
Oh,
trying to get
my
people
God.
excited about that yet,
No, I'm
because we
saying
still got
that-
6
Well,
weeks.
the other thing, see what I
Things are
talked
getting
about,
excited.
that she's excited about, is that we have an issue with people showing their card and bringing 20 people into
for
facilities.
special events.
So this will, the 4 will be boop, and that's it. The 5th person comes, nope, you already have your 4 guests. I mean, there's a lot of other tangents to this that people are pretty
Mhm.
excited about. Okay,
And people will still have their plastic cards if there's, that's still.
but the
an
plastic
option.
card will still register to the owner, to whatever app that the person's using, and that'll still. register.
My father-in-law has a flip phone,
All right.
so is he gonna have a card? Would he like,
Yeah, it's.
is he gonna have a card that gives him, he doesn't have to have an app to get his card?
Correct.
Okay,
Right.
that's,
so
you
still
just need to
can
make
use
sure
the
that
card.
there's still a.
Yeah,
The new system will register, like if 4 people come, you can maybe tap the card 4 times and then that'll register.
Like I still use my
Yeah, so I
Disney
just wanna
card to
make
get
sure
into
that
Disney.
people aren't,
Yeah.
you have to have the
I have
app,
a lot
because there are
of
people
flip
who don't.
There's a lot of flip phone
you don't have to have the app.
Yeah, that was my question, as long as there's an option for people who.
Yeah, they could use either or. They could use the app or they could use the Bluetooth capabilities, either or.
Or the RFID that's built into your plastic. card,
Yeah.
which
That
I
is
think called Cardboard, to emphasize how out of date it is.
I like my plastic card.
Okay, let's move on to E for security and cameras. We got approval.
All right, so just a heads up before we discuss anything regarding these cameras, let's be very discreet and not provide any details. But just know that we are looking at camera evaluation, we're evaluating cameras. In terms of the new cameras that were set up and installed, and some of the features were already set up. I did meet with the sheriff. We're gonna schedule another meet. I would like for someone in the tech committee to participate in that one, to do a walkthrough so that they could provide recommendations as to placement of.
What? So that's,
Oh.
so that was the question too, because that came up in our session, was making sure we do that with. If it's just like the pools and stuff, then that's fine, but when you start talking about the community, we need to be working with the other.
Yes,
outlets.
so the, right now, we're only addressing our locations, the amenity locations. And then afterwards, we'll pair up with Greg's team and hope to get some better information as to where to place this stuff. With that being said, Tom and I met with Sierra Wireless to look at potential solutions. And we're still back and forth with them regarding hardware specifics and testing the equipment once we decide on what we're gonna get. Now, Tom, to piggyback on what you sent out, Lauren gave us the green light. So we're placing the order for that stuff tomorrow.
We're gonna have a beta test site.
Okay.
Yeah, community security, just, we need, they can't stress enough the need for the boards to work together.
Yeah.
There is no community security without the boards working together.
So we are scheduling something in March for all joint boards.
Okay.
See, all, as you call them, all the alphabets.
Yeah.
Getting together to discuss.
That was gonna be like CJC,
Yeah.
Canoa, CDD.
Yeah,
Because we'll get more for our money if all
Yeah.
parties are involved.
well, and it sounds, the concerns aren't just row properties.
It's the whole community.
It's, yeah, so just can't stress enough, work together.
Yes, agreed. So I won't get too much into the weeds and details, but yeah, we're making progress on that.
You get the order in though, right, Jose, and get the stuff?
Yes, we got the okay to order it, so I'm gonna order it tomorrow.
Is this one has the IoT capabilities for cellular?
Yes.
Sorry, what was that?
It has the IoT capabilities, right, for
Yes.
decent.
That's the
Yes,
whole point.
yes, these.
That's what it does.
I just wanted to show, so Celia, so basically, you know, our limitations of cameras recently is like network, like connecting a wire to it. These will like just need power, so cellular, is like your phone would use, gives the camera streaming the video back. So now places like the amphitheater in Artisan,
Talking about cellular and celebration and depending on security for our cellular.
we have, it depends on the carrier, right?
Yeah.
Right, so we're making sure we test that. Verizon has a very strong signal
Yeah.
in Artisan, so we got a Verizon
Right.
connection. Like North Village, my T-Mobile's through the roof, I get like almost a gig now, so. But, so it just depends what.
And that does not
and-
work at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have five G.
Sprint T-Mobile and Artisan, my parents
know.
have to like,
It doesn't
they
work,
pull
right?
into my driveway, wait to connect to the Wi-Fi and then let me know
My
they're
buddy is
there
a-
so they can, we can open the garage.
My buddy's a real estate agent, he had T-Mobile, and he'd go back there, he couldn't open the doors. But
Okay,
North Village, it's okay, I get 700 to a gig there.
Wow. Cool.
I got two, I get AT&T and T. Okay, right on time, look at that.
yeah, I don't know if they just have brainstorming thing, is that?
New ideas, speak.
So
Well, wait for
I
the-
have a question because I know.
I know Steve, I've been in communication with Brendan. He figures out, hey, me. Get Jose.
We were supposed to have a discussion about recommendations or about some of the technology that Krista wanted with regards to the MPAG committee. Are we still gonna have those discussions? Because I mean,
I think Yeah, it's around, well, like electric vehicles, we
Yeah.
talked about that, like charging. So do we have a recommendation, or are we just gonna let them figure it out? Or do we have a recommendation that's based on like this many residents, we should probably have this many chargers, or, I don't know, as I've been involved in these meetings, I think
maybe next year or something, it'd be really great to put together like a technology. Like 5 to 10 year, like
Technology roadmap.
a massive technology roadmap of like, what are the things like with technology as a pillar for this community?
We should.
What does that mean? It doesn't mean installing key card, like it doesn't, it means making you be able to use the key card on your phone. Or it's those things. It's not the getting into the weeds of installing plugins. It's, we want the vehicles, we like going around Celebration and taking you places. We want to be able to charge electric vehicles. What is that roadmap? And I think that it'd be nice to put that as something like for a goal next year, is to like really work towards what are those blue sky ideas that we as a technology pillar or a town that is supposed to be, have
Well,
technology
some of them-
pillar, where does that go?
And we went, I wouldn't say super far with the beat, but we went pretty deep. I mean, we went for test rides. I had a bunch of meetings. The technology is changing so quickly. Like a lot of them.
That was just an example. It's more of the, this I'm saying, this is a
Yeah.
roadmap of like, what are the things that we see as technology of the future? How do we bring Celebration into 2035 from 1996? Because frankly, there's a lot of 1996 still too,
Yeah, no, we agree. We talked about it.
from a technology perspective.
Yeah, 100%.
Not the rest, not talking about other things, just the technology.
I gotta give Krista that book to read that I showed you. She would appreciate that. The first journal about technology in Celebration.
Mhm.
And, how in 25 years, people will be able to sit in their home and attend a meeting instead of going out and attending it in person, right? I gotta give you that magazine.
Well, I don't know if you heard me say this before. So I came to Celebration in 98, 99. I was working for Sun Microsystems and we put a lot of technology in the school back then.
Mhm.
In 2000, Celebration School had the top technology in all the United States.
Yeah,
And now there's Chromebooks.
and it's probably still
Now
the
it's
same
crap.
technology.
No, it's not. All of a
20
sudden,
years
they have
later.
video to every, on-demand video in every class. It's amazing. 20 years later, it's worse than it was.
Yeah.
And my husband probably sells all the equipment for all of that old stuff.
It was crazy. They just went backwards. When Osceola County took over and they just standard every.
So for next meeting, I think that is there anything from a technology perspective that we want to make sure is included in the master plan? There is February 20th is the community meeting, so there'll be conversations just around like what are people looking for.
Maybe we need a workshop.
But what does maybe next year, or maybe for next year or whatever, we only got one more month or it's
Right.
2 months.
But I think that would be
Maybe
a
that's
workshop, right? Because like Jose's got some great ideas about AR and VR stuff he's working on. I mean, other people have some ideas, and then we get all those ideas, then our group can go through that and decide like which really are ones to.
It's a series, like gather the ideas and then roadmap it. So like, rather than just picking random things and every year going off in a different, like, let's roadmap, let's make a plan. I think it'd be great.
300%.
This is borderline, not even technology, but since we have management, very well represented here. Can we fix the 2 TVs that are hanging on the wall, the diffusers, the LED diffusers have fallen off behind the panel?
Yep.
So now all you see is the spot from the LEDs.
Yep.
It's been like that for at least 2 years.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say management could fix the sprinklers, not spraying people when they walk out of the curl of button. I thought that's what you were gonna say. I'm sorry.
That's borderline technology, but
So we do that so you guys leave by 8.
That's working really well then.
yeah, if you just give us the go ahead, John and I are doers. We'll bring over the ladder over here. We'll put them up ourselves.
You're talking about the ones right now.
Yeah, yeah. Have you saw the white spots? We're getting.
I'm all for doing, but let's keep in mind liability, insurance,
Yeah, no.
et cetera, and what you're allowed to do.
Climbing the ladder.
Just making a.
Technically, you can't go higher than 6 feet. That's the OSHA regulation.
We can talk something right, please.
Yeah. So.
Okay, motion to adjourn?
Second,
So.
Good.
can I just-
we stop recording.
Stop recording?